Hello everyone, I am Diana from HappyTipsy and we are here today with Chef Vicky Ratnani, who is a minefield of flavors and food stories. Today we are glad to have him on the show and we're going to have all the secrets drawn out of him on what makes him such a successful chef today. Welcome, Chef.
Thank you so much for having me on Happy Tipsy.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
What brings you to Delhi?
Well, I come to Delhi pretty often on work. In fact, where we are now is the Runway Project. It's at Select City Walk.
Okay.
It's modern Italian tapa style menu, and I've done the menus here.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here today, actually.
All right. Chef, we are interested in knowing a lot of things about you, especially when it comes to you being a chef and then also an entertainer. What keeps you motivated? And what is the source of all this energy?
I tell you, I think in life it's very important, and I think it's an advice to everybody, is that you have to be very careful what you choose to do in your life.
Correct.
Because it's simple that if you've chosen the right thing, it might be anything. Something which you actually love to do, I think, and if you're doing something which you're loving to do, you've chosen the right thing in life or in a profession. I think that's my inspiration, is because I love what I do.
Here, I would like to ask one question, which is often the kind of dilemma that youngsters, aspirants of hospitality, and people who are passionate about cooking usually go through. They think that getting a qualification in hospitality will enable them to, cross the road to stardom in the hospitality industry, or somewhere passion is also rated more when it comes to to experiment in the cooking world. What do you think should be the right way to pursue for people who wants to enter this industry?
See, I'll tell you, I always have this discussion is that I don't like the word celebrity chef. Okay, I like the word chef. When you say something like Chef Vicky Ratnani, it's as good as celebrity chef. Because for me, people call you a celebrity chef, you don't call yourself that.
Right.
It's not like a self-earned title, It's like you have to prove yourself to be called a king or a queen or sir or brigadier or commander or air commodore.
Correct.
So these are actually titles which people actually earn out of their hard work, and when you're really good at your work, then you might think of doing something, but I don't think it's the right approach that, you want to get. You can still, in fact, when you enter the hospitality industry and you are doing well and you're working hard, you automatically become a celebrity or a celebrated colleague for your team.
Correct.
Now, if you become famous through a medium of communication such as television, radio, internet, whatever. So the reach is much far and wide. But I think the idea for anyone to take up a profession in the hospitality industry is to be happy and take pride to serve and make other people happy.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
Yeah. So interestingly, you have worked in diverse mediums of catering to the hospitality industry. You've worked for cruise liners also. So, and you're behind some of the most successful restaurants in the country. So, what do you think are the difficult challenges or the differences in working, in these two different space altogether?
See, I tell you, I had a great history with Cunard. Cunard has one of the best ocean liners in the world. We don't even call them cruise liners, we call them ocean liners.
Okay.
Because the way they are built, how strong they are, even technically they are called ocean liners. Because they can even sail in deep oceans and go in the North Atlantic.
Right.
So they are really strongly it's like they are as strong as warships, but they're actually luxury warship.
Wow.
And so when you're catering to people on the ship, it's equally difficult as it's anywhere else. But the thing is that when you are working or you are doing a restaurant, when you're especially in the restaurant, on land, people have a lot of choice.
Correct.
People can walk in and walk out.
Yeah.
On a ship, when people come on board, they can't go anywhere else. So I think there are challenges, pros and cons in both of it. But it's a fantastic way to learn. When you work on a ship, you learn to work with different nationalities. You travel to different places of the world. You work with different kinds of beautiful produce, ingredients.
Okay.
So your mind gets expanded and gets more open-minded to work under pressure, to be punctual, to be able to work 7 days a week. But I think that each journey of your life is meant to happen for a certain kind of development in one's life.
Yeah.
So like the ship, it made me learn 4 languages, it made me travel the world, it made me taste different food, it made me meet a lot of people, but it also taught me how to live in a small cabin with 4 people when I started my career.
Yeah.
It made me also realize how important time was and punctuality was and attention to detail was. So I think everything is meant to happen, and I think we all learn from our doings and mistakes, and I think you have to see the dark and the bright side of life to know which one is bright and which side is dark.
Speaking of produce, you just mentioned produce. We know that you lay a lot of emphasis on produce. I think when we watch shows like Chef's Table and follow international chefs and then talk to Indian chefs, we come to learn that Indian chefs enjoy the luxury of produce being brought onto their cooking tables. So how do you define yourself as somebody who is keen on knowing the produce? Why is that, and
I think you're absolutely right. But also the thing is that the world is changing, so is India. The whole new breed of chefs are inspired by all of us and by the Chef's Table and various other formats in life where the people are starting to eat healthier, they're starting to eat cleaner food, they are more worried about where the food is coming from before asking for the recipe. So the good old days, people would ask you like, how do you make this? Now people, they ask you, is this tomato pesticide free? It's organic? So there is a lot of conscientiousness and awareness and cutting edgeness which is coming with the young chefs, and it's a great pleasure to see that young chefs are connecting with their farmers. They are trying to experiment. I love traveling to different places. I like to visit local markets. I like to see what is in.
In fact, your recent, the very famous Australian trip, you explored a whole lot of market. So, what was your takeaway? How is it different from the Indian market? And what interesting things about different produce and market sources have you found from that?
Well, I'll tell you, all markets are the same.
Right.
Okay, it's the demand which creates the supply.
All right.
If people are more interesting to try out different products, of course, then people will sell it to them. So I think the mindset, and I tell you, I have no complaints against the Indian market because historically and traditionally, I think we are a complete food culture. And history and tradition.
Correct.
I mean, a lot of us, I haven't even seen the whole of India. And there is so much in every 50 kilometers
to be explored.
Every 50 kilometers, the eating culture, the people is different.
Right.
So there is a lot of good things happening in the country. Unfortunately, that people and chefs who are working in big cities, we are too busy. A lot of people don't take enough time off to see what's actually happening. But I always say that the people who are living in smaller towns, they eat better than us.
Absolutely. That is so true. And also, when you talk about different chefs working from across different parts of the countries who are more aware, I also think that customers are also very well aware of what they want to demand and what they should be getting in return for what they demand. And that has also created some kind of chain in the hospitality industry, which has again pushed the entire industry into innovating and stuff like that. Speaking of which, chef, you have not just in terms of experience, but you have also cooked for various other celebrities, Queen Elizabeth being one of them, Nelson Mandela being one of them. So, do you have any interesting stories to tell about them? What did they like to eat from you?
Well, Nelson Mandela, I remember I was just a Commis chef, and I was working along with my sous chef, who was actually from Thailand.
Okay.
We found out that, or we got to know that Sir Nelson Mandela would like to eat Asian food, a little spicy food. So it was completely what we would also want to cook for him, and it was amazing that he was on board for about 5 days, traveling from Durban to Cape Town, and he was promoting his what do you call it? He was promoting his book, and also he was promoting his charity, which he came to promote that. And I remember that. So there was nobody allowed to stay in. Nobody knew where he was staying. The food would be delivered to one point, and after that it was gone. But on the last day when he was leaving, he said, "I would like to meet the chef who was actually cooking for me."
Okay.
And it was my luck that I met him, and he gave me a bare hug and he said, "God bless you, chef."
Lovely.
So it was amazing, I mean.
What about Queen Elizabeth?
Well, nobody cooked for Queen Elizabeth, she hardly eats. But yes, I have met her a few times.
Right.
I met her once, sorry. And there was not much cooking, but yes, we cooked for the whole royal family.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, you have traveled very widely, and your emphasis on your produce makes us come to an obvious question. Which are your favorite places where you have got the most sumptuous produce?
I think it's going to take a lifetime to answer that question.
But you must have met a lot of chefs on your culinary trips.
Yeah, but I tell you, how much ever I travel around the world, I love the food in my country.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of South Indian kitchen. I think South India is a continent by itself when it comes to food cultures and techniques.
Absolutely.
And of course, so all around India you can find some amazing food. But when I go abroad, yes, I love the food in Spain, in Italy, in Japan, in Korea. I like Cantonese food as well. So I mean, I'm quite a hippie at heart and an open mind, where I like good food wherever it comes from.
So when you were starting off as a young chef, who was the chef who really inspired you to aim really high in life?
I think my teacher actually discovered that I was good at cooking, and my chef Koilo actually encouraged me and pushed me along, pushed me. But I think then over the years I have been inspired by, in India it's Chef Ananda Solomon, Chef Manjeet Gill, there's Chef Imtiaz Qureshi, who have been people who are the forerunners of cooking in our country. And around the world there's Farhan Adrian, there's Daniel Boulou, there's now the new chef Aurelio Martinez. So I have favorite chefs from different countries.
Right.
And I think people who are actually making a difference and game changers without actually altering the form of food are the people who I follow.
Okay. So we have some very straightforward questions for you. I hope you guys will enjoy this and add more fun to this interview. The first question is, what is the weirdest food that you have cooked so far?
The
weirdest?
Well, I don't think weirdest. I think the most exotic food I've ever cooked is...
don't say it's crocodile.
It's like kangaroo tail.
Oh my god, how does that even taste like?
Delicious.
Okay. Childhood dish sweetheart that made you cook it again and again and again?
My mommy's biryani.
Oh wow, lovely. Nothing can beat that. Then college food that you still miss even today?
I remember opposite catering college in Shivaji Park there was the best vada pav guy just near a place called Kirti College,
Okay.
which is in Shivaji Park, which is very close to my catering college has the best vada pav in India, I would say.
Right. What was the most embarrassing food experience you've had so far?
In fact, it was a prank which was played on me, where I was cooking a pot of soup about like 500-600 liters.
Where was this? And
On
when
the
was
ship, on the ship.
Okay.
Where I was actually, so we were so used to cooking that I knew how much salt I needed in a scoop
Okay.
to throw inside.
My
and
God.
actually, somebody had played a trick, it was actually sugar.
Okay.
So I added sugar into the chicken soup.
Now that's new. What is the most funny food experience that you laugh about in that? Is it the same?
I think it's
Is it the same? Okay. The dish that you count as a masterstroke till now, that you kind of talk about it no matter what.
I think I do a really nice seafood soup, which is inspired by the bouillabaisse base, which comes from France.
Okay.
But I call it the Arabian Sea seafood bisque, I think, which is one of my most popular dishes, and the other one is called ran and rice, which is very slow cooked lamb leg, which is pulled and then mixed with rice.
I'm hungry. The most inspiring chef that you have met and why?
I think one of the most inspiring chefs I've met is actually he's a chef called Marilio Martinez, who has a restaurant called Central in Peru, and I think he's one of the person. There's one more in Brazil called Alex Atelier, who has a restaurant called DOM.
Okay.
So these are the people who have actually created or discovered and made magic with food from their cultures. So they are literally using indigenous ingredients, which normally no other chefs would use, and bringing them back onto the table.
Correct. Right. What is your 2-minute dish that you always cook the quickest when you're hungry?
I think a really nice, spicy, soft scrambled egg.
Okay, so that has brought us to the end of this rapid fire round. Just to wrap up this interview, we know about your book,
Vicky
Goes Veg.
And I didn't turn vegetarian.
There's a lot of talk on that.
I turned vegetarian when I was filming the show.
Okay.
And yes, when I was writing the dishes, that's when I turned vegetarian. I was vegetarian for almost 3 months.
Wow. What was the experience like?
I mean, you feel cleaner, you feel lighter.
Okay.
It was very different. You smell different when you eat. So you are what you eat actually at the end of the day.
Because the reason why I asked this question is because a lot of restaurants emphasize on non-vegetarian dishes because I don't know, maybe they think that people come out to experience and taste non-vegetarian because vegetables they have it at home. But then we see these innovative chefs who are using vegetarian vegetarian dishes to come up with different recipes and stuff like that. So you have done something like that in India too.
Well, I think after I did Vicky Goes Veg, and I think you can create good food with anything. You can create great food with great ingredients. It doesn't need to be meat or fish.
Yeah.
And I think if anything is possible, I think now a lot of the people are not turning vegetarian, but they are including more vegetables in their diet.
Yeah.
And I think the only way which you can promote that is start putting more time and effort and creativity even with simple things.
Correct. I think Vicky Goes Veg has created a legacy to add to that, and congratulations to you for coming out with such a spectacular idea, and thank you for being on the show with us. And we hope to have you again with something greater. Thank you guys for joining us, and have a lovely day ahead.
Bye-bye.